Hi friends, let's start with new questions of Payload from Keith Williams. I hope you have understood all the questions I have done in the previous video lectures, and I also hope that you understand all the 5 questions or whatever questions I'm going to do today. So let's start with today's question number 1, which will be question 47. So question 47 is, how much additional traffic load can be added to the following aircraft? So there will be some traffic load already in your aircraft, and you have to find out the traffic load which you can add to the traffic load which is existing in your aircraft. So you have to find out additional traffic load. That means traffic load in addition to the previous traffic load. Okay. Now we have maximum takeoff mass given to us, maximum zero fuel mass, ramp mass, dry operating mass, landing mass, total fuel, startup and taxi fuel, trip fuel, current traffic load also. Okay. So current traffic load is given to us. Now we have to add additional load to that traffic load. So now let's write the 3 columns like as usual. Takeoff mass column, the landing mass column, and the zero fuel mass column. In the takeoff mass column, you are going to write the value which is lower of performance limited takeoff mass and structural limited takeoff mass. In landing mass, similarly in the landing mass column, a value which is lower of performance limited landing mass and structural limited landing mass plus trip fuel. In the zero fuel mass column, the formula is zero fuel mass plus fuel on board or takeoff fuel. Now here we have maximum takeoff mass 2 lakh, which is 200. So let's write down 200 here. The landing mass given to us is 1,55,000. So that is 155. Trip fuel is 55,000. So plus 55. Zero fuel mass is 145, and fuel on board, that is takeoff fuel, will be equal to total fuel minus startup and taxi fuel. So total fuel is 65,000 kg minus 500. So 65,000 minus 500 kg is 64,500 kilograms. Therefore, fuel on board will be 64.5. So 155 plus 55 is equal to 5 plus 5 is 10, 10, 11, 210. 145 plus 64.5 is 5 plus 4 is 9. Okay, 6 plus 4 is 10, 209.5. So now we have three takeoff values, 200, 210, 209.5. Check that value which is the lowest of all. That value is 200. So 200 becomes a regulated takeoff mass. Okay. Now regulated takeoff mass equals to, use the formula, your traffic load plus dry operating mass plus fuel on board or takeoff fuel. The regulated takeoff mass is 200. Traffic load is unknown. Dry operating mass is 1,15,500. So that is 115.5. Fuel on board, which is 64.5. Now before proceeding, there is also one more point. In the takeoff mass column, you can also write a value which is ramp mass minus the fuel used in startup and taxi. So here maximum ramp mass is given to you 2 lakhs, so 200, and startup taxi fuel is also given to you. I neglected that, so that is 200 minus zero point 0.5, which will be equal to 199.5. So now here 199.5. So between 200 and 199.5, it is more prudent to select 199.5 as a regulated takeoff mass. So I'll erase this everything, and our regulated takeoff mass will be 199.5 and not 200. Not a great difference, but still. So instead of writing 200 here, I'll write 199.5 so as to get accurate answer. Therefore, traffic load will be equal to 199.5 minus 180, which is equal to 19.5. Okay, so traffic load is 19.5 kg or 19,500 kilogram. Now we have to calculate additional traffic load that can be carried. Currently we have current traffic load is 100, that is 10,000. Okay, current traffic load is 10,000 kilogram. That is, I have divided it by 1,000, so I have gotten 100. Correction 10. Okay, and the space we have, the total space that we have with us is 19.5 kilogram. That means maximum traffic load that we can carry is 19.5 kilograms. Okay, so what is the additional? So currently we are carrying 10 kg traffic load. The maximum limit to which we can carry is 19.5 kilograms. So the additional or extra load that we can carry, okay, we are allowed to carry or we can carry is extra is 19.5 minus 10, which is 9.5. So option Bravo, 9.5 kg, meaning 9,500 kg. So 9,500 kg is the extra traffic load or additional traffic load which we can carry because we have that additional space or more space or empty space left with us. Okay. So correct option will be Bravo. 47 will be Bravo. And if we use 200 as a regulated takeoff mass, we will get answer as 10,000 kilograms. We will get answer as 10,000 kilogram with 199.5 as a regulated takeoff mass. We will get 9.5 as a answer, and with 200 we will get full 10,000 kg as a answer. Okay, so it will be better to go with 199.5, but you can also select 200 if you want, not a great difference. So now between these two values in the book, they have selected 200 as regulated takeoff mass. They have taken regulated takeoff mass 200 and they have proceeded with the sum. Okay, so you also do that. Select 200 instead of 19.5. Okay, so that's it. So let's go with the other question. Question 48. Question 48. How much additional traffic load can be added to the following aircraft? So maximum structural takeoff mass and performance limited takeoff mass is given to you. So in the takeoff mass column, you are going to write a value which is the lower of maximum structural takeoff mass and performance limited takeoff mass. And that is performance limited takeoff mass, which is 1,90,000 kg. Because maximum structural takeoff mass is 2,10,000 kg, performance limited takeoff mass is less than that. So I'm writing here 190. In case of landing mass column, you're going to first select a value which is the lower of performance limited landing mass and structural limited landing mass. So performance limited landing mass is 156 and structural limited landing mass is 155. So between 156 and 155, 155 is the lower value. So we are going to select that 155. Trip fuel. What is trip fuel? Trip fuel is 55,000 kg. So you are going to add 55 to 155 and you will get 210. Okay, 210 kilogram. Next, zero fuel mass. Now, zero fuel mass column, you are going to use the formula zero fuel mass plus fuel on board, also known as takeoff fuel, right? So, zero fuel mass given here is 150, 1,50,000. So, you write 150 here plus takeoff fuel or fuel on board. So, takeoff fuel is not given to you directly. We can calculate that. Takeoff fuel will be equal to total fuel on board minus startup and taxi fuel. So total fuel on board is 60,000 kilograms. Startup and taxi fuel is 500 kilograms. So 60 minus zero point 0.5 is 59.5, 59,500 kg. So 150 plus 59.5 is equal to how much? So zero point 0.5, 209.5. So now you have three possible takeoff values: 190, 210, 209.5. Okay, the lowest of them all is 190. This becomes your regulated takeoff mass. Regulated takeoff mass. Okay, so let's use the formula now. Regulated takeoff mass equals to dry operating mass plus traffic load plus fuel on board or takeoff fuel. Substituting the values, you get regulated takeoff mass equals to 190. Therefore 190 equals to 110 plus traffic load. Fuel on board or takeoff fuel is 59.5. Therefore traffic load will be equal to 190 minus 110 plus 59.5, which is equal to 190 minus 180, 1, 169.5. So 19.5. Okay. So the maximum traffic load that you can carry on this aircraft is 19,500 kg or 19.5. Okay. So maximum traffic load that you can carry is 19.5. Currently you are carrying, current traffic load is 12,500 or 12.5. So how much additional traffic load you can carry? Additional traffic load that can be carried will be equal to 19.5 minus 12.5, which is equal to 7 or 7,000 kilograms. 7 or 7,000 kilograms. So the correct answer here will be option A. 190 minus 169.5. Then so this is 20.5. Okay, this is 20.5. So additional traffic load that you can carry will be 19.5 minus 20.5, which will be equal to correction 20.5 minus 12.5, which will be equal to 8 or 8,000 kilogram. Okay, so the correct option here will be option A, 8,000 kilogram. Let's go to question 49. What is the maximum traffic load when DOM is given, maximum structural takeoff mass is given, and maximum zero fuel mass is given, takeoff fuel is given, landing mass is given, and landing fuel is given to you. So good, nice question. So in the takeoff mass column, you are going to write the value for takeoff mass, which is 73,000 kg. So I'm going to write 73 here. In the landing mass column, I'm going to write the landing weight, which is 66 plus trip fuel. Now here trip fuel is not given to you directly, but it's given, landing fuel is given to you 8,705 kilogram, meaning upon landing, the fuel remaining in the tanks is equal to 8,705 kilograms. At the time of takeoff, the fuel in the tanks was 10,500 kilograms. That means the fuel that you have consumed, the trip fuel, is equal to 500 kg. Landing fuel is 8,705 kg. Therefore, trip fuel will be equal to 10,500 minus 8,705, 1.795 kilograms or 1,795 kg. So add 1.795, 66 plus 1.795 is 67.795. Zero fuel mass is 62,000, so 62 plus takeoff fuel 10.5. 62 plus 10.5 is 72.5, correction. Now among 73, 67.795 and 72.5, 67.795 is the lowest quantity. That becomes a regulated takeoff mass. So regulated takeoff mass is equal to 67.795 equals to dry operating mass 39. Payload will find out. Fuel on board is 10.5. So payload will be equal to 67.795 minus 49.5, which will be equal to 18.295 or 18,295 kilogram. So this is your final answer. Let's go to question 50. Calculate the maximum traffic load in this conditions given, right? So let's start. Takeoff mass column, the landing mass column, and the zero fuel mass column. In the takeoff mass column, you are going to write a value which is the lower of performance limited takeoff mass and structural limited takeoff mass. In the landing mass column, a value which is lower of performance limited landing mass and structural limited landing mass. In the zero fuel mass column, a value which will be an addition of zero fuel mass plus fuel on board or takeoff fuel. Now in the takeoff mass column, so check the takeoff values given to you: maximum structural takeoff mass and performance limited takeoff mass. Maximum structural takeoff mass is 2 lakh kilogram. Performance limited one is 2 lakh 12,000 kilogram. So between them, 2 lakh is the lower quantity. Okay, is the lower quantity. So you are going to proceed with this value, which is 2 lakh. So instead of writing 2 lakh, I will write 200 divided by 1000. Now in the landing mass column, a value which is lower of performance limited landing mass and structural limited landing mass. So performance limited landing mass is 1,65,000 kilogram. Structural landing mass is 1,70,000. Between them, 165 is the lower value. So 165 plus trip fuel. What is trip fuel? Trip fuel is 32,000 kilograms. So write 32 here. So 165 plus 32 equals to 197. Let's go to next column. Zero fuel mass. Zero fuel mass is 1,40,000. So 140. Fuel on board or takeoff fuel is. Now here we have not been given takeoff fuel or fuel on board directly. We will find that out by subtraction. So takeoff fuel will be equal to total fuel minus fuel spent in startup and taxi. So total fuel is how much? 40. Fuel used in startup taxi is 0.5. So takeoff fuel is 39.5. So right here 39.5. 140 plus 39.5 will be equal to 179.5. 179.5. Okay. So these are the three takeoff values with you. You are going to select that value which is the lowest of them. Okay, lowest of them. So the lowest takeoff value here is 179.5. So this becomes a regulated takeoff mass. Regulated takeoff mass equals to dry operating mass plus traffic load plus fuel on board, right? So regulated takeoff mass is 179.5. Dry operating mass is 115. Traffic load you do not know. Fuel on board is this 39.5. So 39 decimal 5. So traffic load will be equal to 179.5 minus 115 plus 39.5, 154.5. So 179.5 minus 154.5 is 25. So the correct answer will be 25, 25 or 25,000 kilograms. Correct answer will be 25 or 25,000 kilograms. So yeah, so the correct answer is 25,000. Okay. So this is how you do the 5 questions that we have done in this video lecture. I hope you have understood all the 5 questions. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment box. Do like this lecture, subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet, and please share this video with all your friends.